Imagine how the employees of this company felt when they discovered they were all out of work because a basic housekeeping rule was broken. In a matter of minutes, this plant was destroyed because some employee was careless and failed to dispose of oily rags properly. Ignoring or failing to follow basic rules of good housekeeping can lead to serious safety problems, problems that can end in tragedy. But safety is not the only area that can be affected by poor housekeeping. Poor housekeeping can also lead to serious security problems, which in turn could lead to a safety problem. For example, neglecting to relock doors, windows, and cabinets makes it easy for unauthorized persons to enter or gain access to restricted areas where they could get hurt. It can also lead to the theft of important tools, equipment, or information. And it may cause the loss of supplies you need to do your job. Lax housekeeping habits can interfere with everyone's ability to work efficiently and safely.
How is a person supposed to find anything in here? This place is an absolute mess. Ow! Oh, Ann, are you all right?
If employees don't put supplies or equipment back where they belong, coworkers won't be able to locate them when they're needed. And there's always the risk that the mess may cause an injury. So when you don't do your work efficiently, you can bet that everyone suffers. As you've just seen, good housekeeping affects not only the safety of your company, it also plays an essential role in its security and efficiency. So although housekeeping may seem like something that would be low on your safety priority list, it should be right up there at the top. Too often, it's the small details that cause the big accidents. Therefore, we're going to spend the next several minutes reviewing 7 very important, yet very basic, good housekeeping rules. As you're watching this program, keep in mind that no matter what you're doing or where you're working, it's essential that you follow these rules at all times. The first rule is, if you open it, close it. Never be in such a rush to do your job that you neglect safety concerns. If you fail to close a drawer or a cabinet after using it, a fellow employee or a visitor may walk directly into it or trip over the obstruction and receive a painful injury. The bottom line, good housekeeping demands that you put things back the way you found them. Let's look at another example of what happens when you open it but don't close it.
Where'd that cap go?
Why bother? I can't spend all day looking for it.
Why bother to close what you've opened? The answer is obvious. Open file drawers, open containers, even open doors can be safety and security hazards. For safety reasons, emergency exits and fire doors must remain clear at all times, and all doors must be closed when not in use. And safety isn't the only issue when it comes to poor housekeeping habits. Doors, cabinets, and windows left open present security problems as well, which brings us to our next point. If you unlock it, lock it. As you well know, a company's products, supplies, and equipment must be protected from theft and unauthorized use. That's why it's essential that you take responsibility for the protection of your company's property.
Man, I can't believe my luck. This is exactly what I hoped to find.
Oh, no! I wonder what's missing. I better call my supervisor right away.
So that's the story. I walked back, I found the doors wide open, and I noticed the tools were missing.
You didn't pass anyone in the hall?
No, whoever took the tools must have been in and out before I started back.
You know you're not supposed to leave the tool room unlocked under any circumstance.
I know, but I thought it would be okay for just a few minutes.
Well, as you found out, it only takes a few seconds for something like this to happen. Well, at least this time, no one got hurt. Do you remember the last time someone left a door unlocked? The new guy accidentally entered the restricted area and got hurt. If the area had been locked, the accident would not have happened.
Prevent these types of safety and security problems from happening in your company. When you unlock a cabinet, window, or door, lock it before you leave. It's that simple, as are all of the good housekeeping rules you're learning here. Now let's look at another rule that you should keep in mind.
Oh, hurry!
Who blocked this?
If you block it, clear it. Another serious housekeeping problem occurs when you obstruct emergency equipment, aisles, or work areas while doing your job. Leaving an item in a passageway for even a moment can cause serious problems and could jeopardize someone's health and safety. You never know when an accident will occur. That's why you should never block eye wash stations, first aid or fire equipment, or emergency exits under any circumstances. For that matter, you should never block any passageway. Hallways and aisles must remain clear of any obstructions, big or small, because tripping hazards could be created. Developing good housekeeping habits also involves following this next important rule.
Hank? Hey, how's it going, buddy? Oh, well. He won't care if I borrow a screwdriver. Ah, here's the one I need.
If you borrow it, return it. Although it may not seem important to you to return an item immediately to where it belongs, failing to do so can not only hurt efficiency, it can also result in a safety hazard.
Now where's my good screwdriver? Someone must have taken it. Ah, forget it. I'll use this instead. Here we go.
So if you borrow something, make sure the person responsible for the item knows that you're borrowing it, and then return it promptly in good condition. That's just common sense and courtesy. And so is this next housekeeping rule. If you make a mess, clean it up. Every employee is responsible for taking care of any spills or clutter they themselves have created or that they happen to come upon. Neglecting to take that responsibility can lead to conditions that can cause other safety hazards. And cleaning up promptly is only part of the solution. When you're disposing of potentially hazardous materials, it's essential that you do so according to the proper procedures and your company's regulations. Failure to do this can result in a secondary hazard. In this case, disposing of those oily rags in the wrong container could result in a fire like the one you saw at the beginning of this program. And let's look now at another common housekeeping mistake.
Hey, do you have something against that drill? Why'd you throw it down like that?
No big deal. It can take it. Ah, too small. Hey, can you hand that back to me?
I hope everybody doesn't treat their equipment like you do. Are you okay?
I hope so. I just got a shock from this thing.
See, I told you, you can't treat your tools like that.
If you use it, take care of it. When you're provided with equipment, it's your responsibility to use and maintain it according to instructions. Failing to do so may injure you or a coworker or leave you without the materials necessary to do your job. The bottom line, treat your company's property as if it's your own. Your safety depends on it. You and your coworkers need certain equipment to get the job done. If you abuse or fail to properly maintain equipment and materials, everyone's safety is jeopardized. Equipment that's functioning improperly due to misuse can injure both you and your fellow employees. And carelessness with materials can cost you lost time and aggravation. In short, take personal responsibility for the equipment that you use and for everything that you do on the job. And taking that responsibility brings us to our final point, one that is key to every rule we've discussed here today. If you see a hazard, remove, repair, or report it. If you fail to take action, someone else could bear the consequences. When you spot a potential safety or housekeeping problem, you should take care of the situation, either by fixing it if you can do so safely and you know the proper procedures to take, or by marking it and reporting it to your supervisor, or to someone who's authorized to remedy the problem. What we're really talking about here is taking your full share of responsibility for safety where you work. In fact, that's the main point behind the 7 basic rules of good housekeeping you've just seen. So let's quickly review them now. If you open it, close it. Remember that failing to close containers, cabinets, windows, doors, or anything else can pose a real threat to someone's safety. If you unlock it, lock it. It's essential that you take responsibility for your company's property. It's also vital that you help protect coworkers from hazards they might be unaware of or unprepared to deal with. If you block it, clear it. Blocking emergency equipment or leaving an item in a passageway even momentarily can cause serious, even life-threatening problems. If you borrow it, return it. Failing to return something promptly and in good condition could cause holdups or injury for others. If you make a mess, clean it up. If you neglect to take responsibility for messes you make or discover, you're allowing a safety hazard to exist, the consequences of which could be tragic. If you use it, take care of it. You and your coworkers need certain equipment and materials to get the job done. If you abuse or fail to properly maintain those materials, everyone's efficiency will suffer. Or worse, someone may be injured as a result. If you see a hazard, remove, repair, or report it. When you spot a potential safety or housekeeping problem, it's up to you to take care of the situation, either by removing it or repairing it, if you can do so safely and are authorized to do so, or by marking it and reporting it to your supervisor or to someone who is authorized to remedy the problem. You've just learned 7 easy yet very important housekeeping rules. Rules designed to protect you and your coworkers from costly, painful, and possibly disabling accidents. So remember your responsibility in keeping your work area neat and clean. Everyone's safety depends on it.